welcome to TMI Weekly. I'm Mary.
I'm Megan.
And I'm Julia, and today we're talking about how to fight better. You might say, you know what, let's just not fight, but that's not realistic because there are going to be conflicts, not only in relationships, but also in friendships. And there are certain techniques that you can use to take a fight that could have ruined your relationship and make it into something where at the end of it you say, I'm really glad we had this discussion.
And we're with Sarah Harrison, who's a senior editor at Your Tango. What are some of your tips?
We're all very quiet because we all really want to know how to fight.
Because we're all very bad at fighting.
I think I'm really good at it.
One really good thing to do is to use I statements. So you want to say, I'm feeling like this. This situation makes me feel like this. Because then you're not hurling blame at the other person. You're not saying,
you did this. You always.
And you're wrong.
And using statements like always or never, it does make them super defensive.
Right.
And whenever the person you're fighting with is defensive, you're not going to get anywhere.
And if you do say an accusatory thing, it's okay to say, oh, I didn't mean that. What I meant was.
Right.
Because that does take the pressure off the person. You're like, you make them feel like that's not what you meant.
Also, with guys, I think frequently women don't communicate well to men that they just want them to listen.
That's another thing you could
want.
say in the fight. You can say, I just need you to listen. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to say anything. I'm not trying to start a fight. I just need to say this.
Well, in fighting with men, I've always found that if you let them talk through their feelings, they go through like a whole arc of emotion. Taking the strength to keep your mouth closed and let them talk even more, they'll resolve half of the issue for themselves and you didn't have to do a thing.
Women do this too. You have this arc of emotion and then at the end you kind of resolve.
No, women are perfect, men are imperfect. That's we're gonna stick with that plan.
You don't want to talk about things when you're in the heat of the moment.
Right.
Maybe 2 hours later when things have calmed down a little bit, then you can go back and say, hey, when that happened, it really made me feel bad.
I'm one of those people who, like, I know that it's going to be resolved, and so I'm fully willing to take a break. But, like, days of a break of me holding all of that inside, but then they're the kind of person who just can go for a day and just feel like crap.
So you want to set a time. You want to say, let's take a 5-minute break, or even let's go to sleep. People say you shouldn't go to sleep angry. It's okay to sometimes go to sleep angry, as long as it's not keeping you up at night.
Well, sometimes the next morning you're thinking to yourself, what was I
talking about last night?
Or I found this frequently with guys, low blood sugar blows a lot of things out of proportion.
I've had that experience myself, actually, but saying, are you hungry? I think you might need to eat something.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
What do you think about saying I love you in the middle of a fight?
Beyond the Trailer. Get the inside track on the latest movies and reviews from audiences fresh out of the theater.
This is the one.
New episodes every Friday at beyondthetrailer.com.
For guys, the easiest way to diffuse a lot of fights with women is they don't feel appreciated, they don't feel loved. If you just give her a genuine compliment, it's not going to resolve every single situation, but a lot of them, she's lashing out at you because she feels like you don't care anymore.
I think that's applicable to girls too, and girlfriend relationships.
And then it can actually be productive. You can have a good fight and it can get you to a better place in your relationship.
Right, like the hospital.
What do you think about saying I love you in the middle of a fight?
Saying I love you in the middle of a fight can be a great thing. You have to mean it when you say it. So you can't just say, oh, I love you, and it's like a manipulative thing. You have to actually be feeling it when you say it, because the other person will be able to tell.
Well, maybe you say something like, I love you and I want us to work this out because I care about this relationship.
Yeah, and reminding the other person that you're on the same team is a really important thing to do.
So you should give them a team jersey whenever you're fighting.
Exactly.
Get the jerseys out!
Yes.
Let's do this!
Another good thing to do is to think about an intimate moment that you have, or use a nickname. Kind of do something that reminds you that you are a couple.
Pookie?
Yeah. Nicknames, they seem like they, don't really make a difference, but they do, because it's the inside language of a couple. It's like your thing that you know about the other person that no one else knows.
Sometimes it's just, I know, whenever you're going through a stressful situation at work or with your own family, it might have nothing to do with that person. And them saying, you know what, I don't really think this is about us. I think this is about the fact that you're really stressed at work and let's have an arm wrestling contest.
Oh.
I totally would have won that one.
Well, I've learned leaps and bounds and heaps and mounds.
I'm ready to fight. Let's do this.
Let's do this thing.
All right, guys. So send us your tips on how to fight better, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I'd love to hear some of them.
Email us at omg@TMIweekly, or you can check us out on our Facebook page.
which has a slash, whichever way you want to put it. That's TMIweekly.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. I'm like sitting here smitten with her. I'm like staring in her big blue eyes. She does not have a single clogged pore on her entire face.
That is not true.